everybody. Today's topic is
Dun, dun, dun.
40. And what has changed since turning 40? Something's good, something's bad. It can be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, taste in music, taste in men, relationships, anything is game. So, but it specifically has to be something that you have definitely noticed a change since you've turned 40 years old or on or about that age. And we're not talking about the boring, yes, we're premenopausal or menopausal. Yes, we have hot flashes. That's kind of a given. We all know that part, kind of, sort of, but we're talking about off the wall that's happened since we've turned 40. So I'll start with the warm up here. One of the things I've definitely noticed is that I cannot hold my pee as long as I used to. I could sit in a car and drive for 2 hours when that first sensation comes on and not have to go. Now, and it comes on, and within 30 minutes, I got to go. And it's not just I got to walk to the bathroom. I'm getting out of my car, looking like Mrs. Homer Simpson, walking with my legs tightly close together with my butt sticked out, clenching my Kegel muscles with every ounce in me. And God forbid if somebody's in the bathroom, because now I'm crossing my legs. You can't see me, but I'm crossing my legs. And then if it gets really bad, we got to drop it into a squat. So now imagine standing in a restaurant or at a gas station in a squat position, waiting for somebody to come out of the toilet. As you're knocking, like, dude, there's more than a pee in there. It's the bathroom. So I'm in that squat position, and then it's okay, they finally left. Now I've actually got to get up. So you slowly, what's that catch-22? Do I slowly get up? Or do I just bounce up and risk like having the whole thing come out at that moment? So, once again, stand up, cross the legs, and now you're kind of like doing the, I don't know if this is the worm or something in a stand-up position as your legs are crossed, trying to get to the damn toilet in enough time to stand there, hold on your zipper, and pull your pants down. Inevitably, half of it's already peed on my underwear. So I would have been better off just pissing myself and not going through all this agony trying to get to the damn bathroom.
Oh, crap. Heaven forbid you have to sneeze or cough.
Oh God, it's all over that. So yes, maybe one of the things that I've noticed is that I not only can't hold my pee as long, but I should probably become a Depends customer. That's something I have definitely noticed since turning 40.
Yeah, I probably go more often, like on that Segway tour.
Yeah,
like we had an opportunity. I just went because.
Yes, you never pass up an opportunity to pee.
No.
As you get older. No. Never. It's like, oh, I think I can hold it, but then as soon as you say that, you get that sense that you just go. You just go.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm quite to that level, but if I've had energy drinks, yes, it's increased. That sensation increases exponentially.
Yes, the same with the water, and then if the alcohol is involved and you break the seal, that's another thing that adds to it.
Yep.
Another thing I've noticed is needing more sleep.
Yes.
I used to be able to survive on like 7 hours, no problem. Some days 6.5, some days 7.5, but on the average 7. Now, if I don't get at least 8 hours plus of sleep, I can't get out of bed.
Okay. Now I still survive on a little sleep. I don't necessarily thrive on a little sleep.
But how many days can you go without at least 8 hours?
Not many. And I am a big fan of the nap. And when I take a nap, my naps last 2 hours typically. I'm dead to the world.
Wow. Okay. I don't get an opportunity to nap. And sometimes if I did nap 2 hours, then I wouldn't be able to fall asleep.
Except when I visit you. Because it's like, oh, she has a headache and needs to lay down. I better take a nap too.
Seize the opportunity when it presents itself.
Yes, but I don't nap every day. Like last night, according to my Fitbit, I only got like 5-ish hours.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't be in bed before 11 tonight.
Okay, so it kind of averages out.
Yeah. And I'm somewhere between 7 and 8. I have had less, but no, long gone are the days where you stay up all night. And I wasn't even a big drinker or anything. So it's not like I was up partying, but even just staying up and then going to class and doing all that kind of stuff or work and
Right, going to
functioning.
work.
Yeah.
Like I said, 6.5, 7 hours, I was good for many years. Not even sleep. That was even on the weekends. So yeah, that's one of the things that I have definitely noticed. Another one, not caring what I look like in public.
Well, hey, here's exhibit A. I'm wearing dress tennis shoes today for work.
No, I mean, there was a time and you didn't walk out the door with at least some mascara and some foundation. Now you're lucky if I mean, brush my teeth.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, you have nice skin. Oh, you don't brush your teeth?
No,
Kidding.
I do brush my teeth. That's the one, like, that's the non-negotiable
Okay.
is brushing the teeth. I mean, sometimes the hair, you can just throw a hat on this thing and it's good to go.
Yes. The other day,
Maybe some moisturizer too.
yeah, I usually, because I just have like a tinted lip balm. So I'll put that on because it makes me feel pretty. But we're going through the renovation. And so I offered to pick up lunch for the workers that were at the house.
Right.
So I went to the local IGA to get some chicken. And I'm in the car driving and I said, "You look disgusting. You have not showered," because I was dressed to go to the gym and that got waylaid because of a variety of reasons. And my hair hadn't been washed. It was in a ponytail. And you know me, I'm typically an everyday washer.
Right.
No makeup. I did have on sunscreen.
Yes.
And I also realized because I was schlepping between the RV and the house, I had not put on socks with my tennis shoes. And I am not that person. I wear socks.
But did you care? No, you walked out that way.
I didn't care enough to fix it. I know that.
Exactly.
And wait for it, it gets even better. And I had to get back home as quick as possible because we had a lady coming to talk to us about the closets. You know, I'm not a small person. Even when I'm skinny, I'm not a small person.
Mm-hmm.
She's all petite and clean, and her pants fit without a belt.
Didn't have a drawstring waist?
Nope, that was a button and a zipper. She was just the sweetest thing, though. But anyway, I never felt fatter or grosser until she walked in the door. So I guess I care a little, but clearly not enough. I'm not one of those people to shower and go to the gym, or if I know I'm going to do something dirty, or if I'm going to work, or if I do try to go work out, I'm not going to shower beforehand. I'm anticipating the shower after.
Yes, exactly. Of course. And there's been times where I've worked out at 10 o'clock in the morning, didn't shower till 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I'm not as particular, but I have to say too, I wear makeup now, but when I was younger, I didn't really. I wore makeup for a period of time when I sold makeup. But then when I was back in healthcare full time, I didn't really put makeup on for work. I mean,
you were a physical therapist taking care of
yeah,
sweaty people that weren't.
Well, and it was doing wound care. I had to get up early and leave early. You know, I'm not an early bird. So I just put on my scrubs, and my hair typically looked reasonable. But then when I got my real estate license, my stylist, she goes, "You know, you're gonna have to start wearing makeup now." So I've recently started wearing makeup.
That's work though. I mean, you know, and when you're in the public, I totally get it. You know, in sales, yes, I got to do something with this, but if I'm not,
just run into the store,
going as is, going as is.
Yeah, I do have less care, but I think that leads to maybe another change. Like you're maybe more confident in who you are. You know that this does not matter all that much.
Right. How I look does not define me. Do I really care what I look like to somebody that I'm probably never going to see again? You know, it's been so long since I've seen somebody from high school. The likelihood of me running into them now is And worst case scenario, they can always be like, "Wow, she looks really good in that Facebook profile, but man, that's smoke and mirrors." Like I care, right?
I know.
But there is one thing in the self-care. We talked about this, or not self-care, but one thing that is a must and a non-negotiable is brushing your teeth.
Yes.
As I've gotten older, I've become way more conscientious about my breath. I don't know what it is when people get older that they decide that all of a sudden there's this gingivitis or something brewing in their mouth, and then their teeth go to hell, and then inevitably your breath stinks with it.
I think sometimes it can't always be helped because I've known some people that have overall meticulous hygiene. Sometimes it could be an internal thing, but yes, if your gum health and your mouth health deteriorates,
Right.
it is.
And then your breath smells like, as your sister would say, the Zackleys.
Yes, and we're not going to tell people what it stands for. You smell
Well, people over
exactly like poo, poo,
hmm,
poo.
people over 40 would know what that means, though.
Yeah, that's true. Because then I'm looking at your teeth. Now, my teeth have always been a little tingy because my sickness as a kid, I read when you had to take medications and stuff, it just kind of stains your teeth more.
Yes.
I don't like
Certainly
that.
antibiotics too. Yes, that does happen. But you're talking to people that I don't know. Some people like when they wake up, they used to brush their teeth twice a day, and now they're like, once is good enough.
I think I take better care of my teeth now.
Yeah. But I think that goes back to, that's one thing that's changed over 40 is I'm way more conscientious about my breath, which inevitably leads to my teeth, which I suppose that's a good thing.
Yes. Well,
I traded urine for teeth.
do you remember this is what we thought about when we were younger? Smelling the
Right.
armpit. Like, okay. Do my armpits stink?
But everybody knows that if you can smell yourself, everybody 10 feet around you can smell you. I don't know how this for somebody 2 feet away was going to make a hill of a beans of difference because you can't really smell yourself.
Uh-huh. When we went to Italy, the trip there was kind of not disastrous, but we definitely got a layover and we missed a flight because of lateness and stuff. But I just remember when we had our layover in New York, we had to go back through the security because of the late flight. We missed our overseas flight and all that. And I remember I was standing and I was like, man, somebody smells. And then I did something and I said, man, I smell. So we got there, our luggage didn't. I told Brett, I have got to buy another shirt. I was able to shower, hand wash the underclothes. They dried overnight, but I wore that stinky shirt for all of 10 minutes until we find an H&M and I got a new t-shirt. Travel tip, pack some extra clothes in your carry-on.
Yes. Yes, and always a t-shirt and a deodorant just in case, and absolutely. A pair of undies.
Well, not only that, because if you do have a late flight and you can't get out on another one, you want to have some toiletries and stuff.
Right.
Because let's just face it, a hotel toothbrush has 3 bristles on it. Anyway, we digress. What else have you noticed, Amy?
All right. Oh, what are my eyebrows?
What eyebrows? Wait for it.
Well, they're painted on right now. And like I said, I mean, we, products of the 80s and 90s, the Pamela Anderson where you pluck them to death. But, your hair grows back. Why don't your eyebrows go back?
I don't know. And I never plucked heavily. And because mine are filled in right now too, but mine, they're still pretty full, but even mine are thinning. And I was looking at some pictures that I posted back from my acting modeling days. Mm-hmm. And it was my comp card. And I was, man, I want those eyebrows back. And that dark hair and that beautiful skin and the small body. I was so pretty. I'm suddenly saddened. But I have to go cry.
I just want some eyebrows. I mean, if this wasn't painted in, first of all, you wouldn't see them. It would go from eyes to forehead. There's one thin line of each of them. But then, you contemplate, should I get them? What do they call that? Not threading, but where they like tattoo it on.
Yeah.
I contemplated that. But sometimes you see people that have that done, and I understand that your eyebrows are supposed to frame your face. But sometimes people do it and it's like your eyebrows become the whole picture.
Yes, I find that too risky.
Well, it's very permanent.
Yeah, I would have to have an extenuating circumstance before I did that. I wouldn't do a tattoo eyeliner or a lip liner. I would not put a tattoo on my face. I'm not Post Malone. I'm not doing that.
Right. You're not famous either, or at least not yet.
No. Maybe infamous one day.
Right.
So I think that's too risky. It's funny because I'm trying to think. I know I've seen you after you've washed your face, but I'm trying to think if I ever thought, Man, Amy doesn't have any eyebrows.
Oh, yeah, they're because I don't. Maybe I don't know.
I don't think
Because
I've
everything
noticed
else
it.
looks so bad, you didn't notice the lack of eyebrows. I'm not sure.
Or it may not be as bad as you think it is.
Maybe. And then I'm like, well, what if I went in and did have them, that laser? God, I can't think of the name of it now. My mom's, yeah, but what happens when you get a facelift? Or if you do, then your eyebrows are going to be in the middle of your forehead and you'll look like an idiot.
Laurel's right.
Laurel's got a good point. I did see something about how you can do this like permanent powder. We're getting off track. That might be our plastic surgery
Yes,
podcast.
we can talk about that. So your eyebrows are starting to be non-existent. However, because you're not especially hairy anyway, but have you noticed an increase in facial hair in the other areas?
Well, not until I went and had somebody tell me that I have long facial hair and they took a razor to it and I almost died.
Was it this
Yeah, that micro laser that they put along your cheeks, and all of a sudden you're looking at and there's these hairs that are like 2 inches long and you're like,
yeah,
they come from me. But nobody's ever said, wow, Amy, you look really hairy.
Well, you're blonde and it's baby fine, but do you have the weird chin hairs or anything?
No, do you?
Yeah. Why do you think I brought it up? I look like a billy goat. What's really bad is there's 3 that will come in right here. And every now and again, I can feel them coming in, but they're too short to get out. And I've always had a mustache, bless me. I always tell people that I got very fortunate because I got my dad's pale skin and his mustache.
Maybe some of those mustache hairs should grow in your eyebrows. It wouldn't be so bad.
Can I do a transplant?
Right. Right. You can do a Brazilian butt lift with fat. Why can't you do a mustache transplant to your eyebrows?
Exactly.
We might be on something that we'll save that thought. What did you notice, Chey? I kind of rambled on.
Oh gosh, just some of the stereotypical physical things, like it's harder to lose weight. I do have body parts that hurt, that kind of thing. General fatigue, but I think it's kind of like what you talked about. Maybe you're not getting the sleep or the quality of sleep like you used to do.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned spirituality or your spiritual thing. I think I'm probably more in tune to my faith and I prioritize that more than I used to for sure. But I think sometimes as you get older, you kind of realize that you have mortality. So there's that. You were talking about taste in music and stuff. Mine hasn't changed. I still like 80s music.
I still hate country, so we're good there.
That's hilarious. I was listening to the 80s station yesterday afternoon, and I thought, man, every single one of these songs makes me want to slap on a pair of roller skates.
Then you had a really good playlist. That's a good playlist then. Because every now and then they'll throw like a dud where it's all slow and you're like, ugh.
Yes. Yeah, but it
only play the upbeat 80s songs.
Then they played Bando Ballet, which I know is a slow song, but that was their couple skate song.
No, when somebody asked me to couple skate, I would run to the bathroom and tell them I needed to wash my hands. There was no cute boys that ever asked me to skate, so I would run to the bathroom and tell them I needed to wash my hands. That was my excuse, and then hide in there the entire couple skate. Chey just asked me to go out, and I didn't know that going out meant like date. I mean, this was 7th grade or 6th grade, and I went to parochial school. You didn't date anybody. You were all friends. Everybody in your class was like your best friend or your brother for that matter, because you knew him since you were in kindergarten. And I remember he asked me out and I thought he meant like go place. And then first I'm thinking, where the heck are we going to go? You live like 20 miles or 10 miles away and I don't have a car and neither do you. So when he asked me to go out, I'm like, no, I can't go out with you. I have to work. Not realizing that he was asking me, would you go out with me? Like, would you be my boyfriend or girlfriend?
That's so funny.
Hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, you can't laugh at anybody.
What else has changed? This was supposed to be funny and I'm going to get heavy.
We can do that. That's okay.
Some of it, I just feel less opportunity is out there. Or I feel like I'm not going to have the opportunity that I would have had when I was like 2025.
In what aspect? Like career, financial?
Career-wise, physical things. Just stuff where the passing of time can prohibit it. Now, I mean, here we are at this age. So obviously you can start a podcast and do something new. I'm not saying that, but I'm never going to be an Olympic sprinter, for instance.
Yes.
Back when I was fit, I used to think about maybe doing fitness modeling. I don't think that's in my future. Having good knees to
Wait,
walk
we're not going to be, wait,
upstairs.
we're not going to be Green Berets like we were after watching Rambo.
No. But I still think we can be friends with Sylvester Stallone. Fingers crossed.
Couple fingers crossed.
Yes. I think that's some of it, some of that realization. And there was one time, because I got married when I was 20. And there was one day I was driving home, and I was still a couple of years out, but I was thinking at my 20-year anniversary, I want to have a big party or something. Because, I love to dance. I'd have a DJ, just have food. It would just be, me, it'd be super cash and just fun. But then I was thinking, when I've been married 20 years, I'm going to be 40. I literally cried the last 2 miles home. There are no do-overs with certain things. I can't go back and take care of my skin. I can't go back and keep myself fit. I can't go back to get my bachelor's degree. Now, there's nothing stopping me from getting a bachelor's degree now. It's just a heck of a lot harder. So just some of those opportunities. In fact, as our friend Sylvester Stallone talks about in the beautiful film Rocky Balboa, when he's trying to get his boxing license back, and he says, I know I'm older. There's things I can't do, and I accept that. It's just kind of getting to the point of acceptance of some of these things. Like, yeah, I just have to realize that the door is shut on certain things.
Yes, the door is definitely not only shut, but it's locked, and it's, with bars behind it.
Yeah. But I've also noticed that there's a lot of things about me that I don't want to do anymore either. I love to dance, but I do not want to go to a club.
Yes.
Now, I still own roller skates. That's never going to change. I'll be 82 with my walker and my roller skates.
Gonna have the wheels on the walker.
Yes, and the tennis balls.
Wheels on the
wheeled walker. I'll get the ones that have the seat on it, but then you'll just see me laid out like a really bad ab roller because I couldn't keep up with pushing my walker, and then I fell, and then it didn't stop me.
It's like she's holding her magic carpet.
Yes. So how about you? Have your taste in things change? Oh, wait, I'm interrupt you after I ask.
Please.
The other thing, because you said taste in men, I don't like 20-year-olds anymore. That's just creepy.
Did you like them when you were 40?
No, I liked them when I was 20.
Changes after 40.
After 40?
Shy B.
Okay, well, I'm not going to date a 38-year-old either.
If you were 40, you wouldn't date somebody 38?
No, I wouldn't date one now. So
because
if I
you're
were
married?
40, I wouldn't date a 25-year-old, but I would date one if I were 25.
So talking about ages, there's a new kind of parlaying. What's your gap? If you're 40, it has to be over this or under this. Yes. Do you have a range?
Well, probably if 40 on the nose.
Yeah, let's just 40 on the, because assuming that it's a sliding scale, right?
Probably
45.
no younger than 37, 38.
Whoa.
Yeah, I wouldn't date much younger than me.
Okay.
I don't know why, I just wouldn't. And then, well, I probably do know why. One, I think there's probably a level of maturity, similar interests, and quite frankly, I'm going to age faster, and I don't ever want to feel insecure because of an age gap.
Okay. And
then probably the oldest would be however many years difference Sylvester Stallone has. Just kidding. I probably wouldn't go really much more than maybe 10 years older than me, but even then I prefer closer.
Wow, so your range is like really tight.
It is smaller. Now, heaven forbid something happened to Brett, because I just plan to be with him forever. But again, as you get older, I think your margins can increase a little bit. But if I'm 70, I don't see me dating a 60-year-old. It still would have to be probably no more than 3 years younger. And then depending on their health and what they enjoy doing and stuff, the amount of difference in age above would be different. Because, Dick Van Dyke, he's 98 and he's in better shape than a lot of people 68.
Right. Right. It's yes, it's definitely person dependent and how they've taken care of themselves.
Yes. And let's face it, as you get older, there's not as much physicality typically. At least that's what you get told.
Yes.
So at that point, it's going to be a lot about companionship as well. But also, when you get to a certain age, and I know we're just talking 40, but planning to be with somebody, I don't necessarily want to be with somebody that might pass away or leave me, well, widowed or whatever, because they were so much older. But then is it better to have loved than lost and never have loved at all?
Oh,
I guess it depends on how much life insurance they had.
right.
Hi, I'm Cheyenne. I'm callous. Anyway, I'm kidding. But no, I think it does come down to level of companionship. And I think that's part of the reason I could do better with people older, because I like older things. I mean, movies, music,
You've
I
always
could
you've
very
always
easily
been
date a World War II veteran just because
you've
of my
always
taste.
gravitated towards somebody older rather than younger.
Mhm.
And same with me. I think being an oldest child, I've always been able to relate to older people better
Mhm.
than I've related to people my own age or younger.
Yep.
But for many years, the big joke, and this has like been my whole life, under 25 or over 50. Wait, when I was 30, it was under 25 and over 50. Now that I've gotten older, it's under 35 and over 55.
Yeah, because you told me like the sweet spot of
Be my
people
sweet spot.
that ask you out. It's like, he's 35. I don't know if I should go out with him. And full disclosure, despite the name of the show, we're both 51.
Yes.
We've been 40 longer than we've been 50, so we feel we're comfortable talking in this window.
Right.
But just so people are, well, 35 and you're only 40, it doesn't matter because it's just 5 years.
Right.
16 years matters a little more than 5.
Mm-hmm. But I do agree with you in a sense that as you get older, that age range can also, I don't know, on the flip side, if I was 60, I could probably date somebody 45 because it's all about maturity, right?
Mhm.
Usually by 45, he's got a career, he's probably got kids, he's kind of established himself, he's got values. We'd obviously have to have those matching to begin with, but he's already kind of set in his ways. I don't have to worry about him partying like a rock star until 6 o'clock in the morning with his friends at some random bars. So I don't know. I kind of go back and forth with that.
Well, and you're super fit and active. You just have a higher energy level. And I think the other thing too is because I've been with Brett for so long, his nature, he's so, I don't want to use the word sedate, but it's not like he's wanting to go and run. It's just a nice little calmness, companionship. And so I also think too, like a younger person, I don't know if I would have the energy level to match, and I don't know if I would want to try. I want to have energy when I feel like having energy, but otherwise, let's just hold the cat and
Right.
talk about something.
That's yeah, okay. So then going back to our original topic of what have you noticed that's changed over since you've turned 40? I prefer companionship over physicality.
Mhm.
Actually, companionship over money, companionship over physical looks, even.
Yeah. And it has to be quality companion. It's not, oh, I'm lonely. I just need a body. It's
Oh,
good quality.
right. Yes. The type of person that you could have great conversations with. But on the flip side, it's okay if you just sat down quietly and watched a movie and pet the cat or the dog and not had to talk.
Mhm.
There's still that kind of, oh God, nobody's talking, that weirdness, nobody's talking. And
Yeah. And this is completely off the topic of things, but I also like that Brett and I kind of share a brain sometimes. We can hear somebody or watch something and we'll just look at each other and one of us will just be like, yeah, I know, or I don't know, dude. We're just right there in sync. So that kind of where you have the nuance of that
Mhm.
comfortable. Yeah.
I think another thing since becoming over 40, things are just sometimes funnier. I don't know, things that used to kind of get to me. I can find myself driving my car and I'll think of something that somebody said, whether it be my kid or my boyfriend over, and I'll just start busting out laughing.
Mhm.
Just things are, I don't know, maybe it's because, my kids are a little bit older. I don't have that, stress of, running around with them. She drives now. It's all good, but we're a little more carefree.
Yeah, I think so. We're at a point where we've kind of done some of the hard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree with you as far as like it's just more carefree because some of the stuff it's like it's not that serious.
Right.
I think you and I, if we were in our 20s, and I already told you most of my embarrassing stories either involve partial nudity or full nudity for whatever reason. And I think some of it would have just like mortified. Now I just kind of laugh and I'll tell the stories. I don't
Right. Yes, you tell
care.
stories that you would never tell
Mhm.
at a certain when you were younger, and now you're like,
Now, if I got a skirt caught in my underpants, I'd still be embarrassed, not because my skirt was in my underpants, but because I'm bigger now. If I had a smoking bod at this age and then my skirt was in my underpants, I would be like, yeah, but did you see my butt? Last night we were at our small group for Bible study, and
well, please don't tell me your butt was out of Bible study.
no,
Okay.
but part of me was.
Well, you kind of let into it that way.
Yes, well, Brett was sitting on the chair in front of me, and I was just kind of standing behind him, and he was kind of stretching his back, and I guess he wanted my body weight to add to it. So he said, "Can you lean a little more forward?" So I did, and my shirt came up in the front. I said, "I have to lean back because my fat's hanging out."
Did you flash? Did you
No,
also lean back so you weren't flashing the Bible study leader?
I was behind the chair, so maybe people, if they were sitting on the side, they might have seen. But either way,
All right, everybody. Shy P and wait, you're Shy P. I'm Amy E, and we're keeping it together after 40.